LoreWarrior Online, The Annihilator. Overview. Conceived in the final year of the Drive on Terror, but finally built in the days just before the Second Exodus, the Annihilator was the answer to the new SLDF's need for an urban assault and defense battle mech. While originally designed to be a symbol of the might of the SLDF to Amaris and his troops, in the post-Exodus era, Kerensky meant it to be a more powerful symbol in an era of rising civilian tensions, and a weapon that could function on an urban battlefield populated with machines of war as well as infantry formations. Though it reached service too late to be a deterrent to the inevitable civil war, it did become a powerful symbol of Nicholas Kerensky's clans when they returned to the Pentagon world 2 decades later. Capabilities. In its original incarnation, the Annihilator's first and only job is to defend a fixed position, be it city or base, against any type of enemy. Speed is, as a result, not a prime concern. Firepower, however, is. 4 Class 10 LBX autocannon provide the Annihilator's primary hitting power, giving it the flexibility to strike hard and with conventional munitions, as well as firing cluster rounds that are equally deadly against vehicles, airborne targets, and even infantry. 4 medium lasers give the mech an even harder close-range hit against armoured targets, while the small pulse laser in each arm serve primarily in an anti-infantry role. Unlike the Annihilator so well known within the Inner Sphere, the early clan version is extremely well protected, carrying a full 19 tons of armour, over 50% more than the Annihilator fielded by Wolf's Dragoons. Furthermore, each torso's ammunition bin is protected by case, and the mech utilises double heat sinks. Deployment. Put into production shortly before the outbreak of the Pentagon Civil War, only a handful of Annihilators saw action before its Babylon factory were destroyed. It was 15 more years before the clans could build more, though even then they built only a few prior to Operation Klondike, assigning them sparingly throughout the clan Tauman. On the other hand, they became the anchors for the clan's heavy garrison binaries in the build-up toward the Golden Century. By the end of the 29th century, though, they were all but removed from service, with just a few still remaining in service, albeit significantly upgraded. Wolf's Dragoons pulled several from Clan Wolf's mothballs a century later, however, in preparation for their mission to the Inner Sphere. Variants. Clans Coyote and Staradder both fielded a modified Annihilator after putting lessons learned during the Pentagon campaign to practice. Identifying it as the ANH-1G, the technicians removed all of the existing weapons as well as a half-ton of armour to instead mount an ERPPC and 3 Gauss rifles. As clan technology advanced by leaps and bounds, Kerensky's children upgraded the few remaining Annihilators still in service to the new standards. The most common version, known simply as the Annihilator C, sports an endo steel frame, though with 3 less tons of armour protection, to mount a more powerful engine, while upgrading the LBX autocannon to Ultra autocannon variants and swapping the standard medium lasers with ER models. This variant loses the pulse lasers in the head-mounted lasers, however the less common variant, the C2, retains the original speed profile, but with 3 ton less armour, and carries 4 Gauss rifles and an ERPPC backed up by a single ER small. The so-called Dragoon variants are little more than bastardizations of the original Annihilator design, constrained as they were by available technology. Both the 1A and the 2A rely heavily on common Inner Sphere technology, though the more recent 3A and 4A, newly constructed within the Inner Sphere and using the most advanced technologies available, once again live up to the mech's name. Notable mech warriors. Star Colonel Brian Kabrinsky. Sharing the same name as his biological grandfather, Star Colonel Kabrinsky was a legend in his time. Outspoken and innovative, he led his clan to victory after victory during the Golden Century, winning for the Ghost Bears several Omnimech designs, as well as more than a score of genetic legacies. Even more legendary, however, was the mech he supposedly commanded in his most important trials. Known as Gauss-Zilla, it was an Annihilator that somehow mounted an astounding 5 Gauss rifles. The mech itself was lost to history, but his exploits at its controls continued to fuel tall tales throughout the clan homeworlds and the Ghost Bear Dominion.